Hi, Kamustika, welcome. How are you? This is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. Marriage is about love and more sex talk. Maybe you're tired of this by now, but I've got one more in me. I'm going to be hitting some more topics from a longer upload I made in response to an article that was called Sex Free Marriage. Anyone? Welcome to the new trend for the wokeys, marrying your best friend. Evidently, some people think they can improve on God's idea of marriage, that it is somehow deficient. But marriage, as the Bible describes it, is the grace of life, the very best. And I don't say that to make anybody feel bad. I was single for a very long time, and I believed that, and it just drove me to keep trying to get married, and I finally did, although I was 53 years old. But somehow my wife has made me forget about all those years of being alone. Today, I want to refute that marriage is not about love. I've been making the case that when you marry, sex is an obligation. It is also a great pleasure and a gift that a husband and wife give to each other, and that is part of love. Please subscribe to Love Beyond the Sea. I try to make videos here and podcasts that will help, single men get married and stay married. I married a Filipina, a woman from the Philippines, very quickly from so far away, and just try to impart what we've learned in our 6 years of marriage. Now, the other day I noticed the title of an article that was called Let's Not Talk About Sex, because the onslaught of porn and erotica has demystified it so much that it's lost its appeal. That's a long title, but that's what it is, what it was. But we do have to talk about it. Sex is such a wonderful thing and has been corrupted by our sinfulness. Sex is everything. I think that it is cracked up to be. I always told it wasn't, but it is. It should never lose its appeal either. I talk about it because it matters. The quality of a sexual relationship in marriage is often indicative of the quality of the marriage at that time. Do you want to know how to not corrupt and demystify it? Get married, stay married, render to your spouse what belongs to them. What you do together is up to the two of you. Not married, then get married. Struggling with porn, find help for that. I made 6 podcasts on Casting Beyond the Sea about that topic. A statement from an article I will link for you is, Platonic marriages are the way to go. A new trend for the wokeys that walk among us, mostly upon water. Well, I think I will walk the other way, and would have if I had not been married yet. I would still not want to do that. If you think platonic marriage is the way to go, you'd be going the wrong way, as I've been trying to show. From the beginning, according to the Bible, a man was to marry a woman. They are a perfect fit for each other. That is the way to go, not MGTOW, unless it's men getting their own wife. Another comment from that article was, these kinds of marriages, of course, more like a headline in the article. These kinds of marriages, of course, have always happened. Alliances between kings and clans, families and all that, and millions still enter arranged marriages with someone they barely even know. Marriage has not always been about love. It has always been a kind of contract. But I say marriage should be about love. Absolutely. Ephesians 5 says husbands are to love their wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. That's all about love. If you don't know what love is, I'll tell you right now. Just read 1 Corinthians 13, verses 4 through 7, and that will tell you what love is. No reason to be confused about that. In Titus 2:4, it says older women are to teach the younger women to love their husbands. On Love Beyond the Sea, I'm trying to do much the same thing for guys. That's why some of it might make some people uncomfortable. But I could care less if you have been contracted into a marriage or not. Love is still commanded. Can you love someone you don't love? Of course you can. And you would have to. Love is something you render, not so much what you feel. Another comment that I saw in that article was, plus, I know plenty of people who married someone from another country so they could get a visa. They never had sex either. This article is about sexless marriage. Intentional sexless marriage, of all things. Well, there you go. I hadn't mentioned that one. someone getting a visa for unbiblical reasons. I think the government would also consider that an invalid and unlawful marriage. Some might even try to interject an age gap marriage between a man and a woman like ours, and often from different countries like us. And while that may be unusual, it is often cultural. It's been around a long time. It's always been desirable for men, especially. I won't go into any of that here because I have done that already in many prior videos. But if the two are faithful to each other, they have a normal marital life doing normal things, it is legal, and they pledge to love and serve one another till death do they part, then they are married. I will pass on sexless marriage, thank you. I found love beyond the sea.